What's going on, ladies and gents? Kage's here and welcome back to another Beatbreak episode. Today, we're diving into episode 11 titled Dark Emotion. Last week was huge, right? We finally saw Kurtmon evolve into Knight Kurtmon, and honestly, I thought that was going to be the emotional peak for a while. But yeah, episode 11 said, nope. We're just getting started. Episode 11 goes straight for the throat with family trauma, bottled up anger, and the kind of emotional damage that does not get fixed in one episode. And honestly, that's what makes it hit. We've got sibling resentment boiling over, Gekkomon losing control again, and the Gogyosei finally stepping into the spotlight. And a reminder that Digimon here in Beatbreak aren't just partners, they're reflections of the ugliest thoughts you don't want to admit out loud. No hype evolution, no easy catharsis, just raw feelings, bad words you can't take back, and consequences hitting hard. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel, means the world to me. And without further ado, let's get right on into it. The episode began on a surprisingly wholesome note. Tomoro gets his first paycheck, and since Asuka's birthday coming up, he decides to go buy him a present. And I really like this moment because it immediately tells us something about Tomoro. This kid is carrying a lot, but he still wants to do something nice for his brother. And we can see how both Rena and Makoto are super happy about receiving their salary. The way they receive it is so funny too. And Kyo being so formal about it is awesome, dude. And on the way to the hospital, we finally get more detail about Tomoro's past. His family used to be a completely normal family of 4, mom and dad, Asuka, and Tomoro. But when Tomoro was 10 years old, his parents were arrested by the ministry. And after that, it was just him and Asuka. And honestly, that opens up so many questions. Why were his parents arrested? Why haven't they come back? Did they really commit some kind of serious crime? And what stood out for me is that Tomoro himself says that he doesn't believe his parents did anything wrong, and neither him or Asuka. So I can't help but think maybe their E-Pulse was special or something, dangerous, misunderstood, or maybe they took the blame to protect their kids. Meaning, Asuka and Tomoro were the ones to have the special E-Pulse. That's just the feeling I got, at least. So before all this, they lived in a normal house. And afterward, the brothers ended up in a slum-like area, just trying to survive together. Asuka quits his high school and even his band, getting jobs just to take care of Tomoro. And he might be even working as a cleaner for a while. Who knows? And then we get this quiet but really emotional flashback. Tomoro remembers how Asuka once gave him a red scarf. So he decides to give Asuka a red scarf in return. And that's so kind of Tomoro to do that. Now, this is where things start getting rough for this episode. Even though Tomoro tells Gekkomon not to come to the hospital cause it'll draw attention, Gekkomon goes in anyway. And then Tomoro completely loses it. Because first he was going crazy at a hospital, then at one of the shop, ripping up the red scarf Tomoro picked out for Asuka. And for the first time, we see this a serious ugly sibling fight. And my first reaction was honestly, what are you doing, Gekkomon? But then I stopped and thought about it. Humans and Digimons here are a reflection of each other, right? So this isn't just Gekkomon acting out. This is something much deeper. When Asuka was around, Tomoro got to be the younger brother. He could rely on him, mess up, be selfish sometimes, not eating his veggies. But the moment Asuka was hospitalized, Tomoro had to become the older brother overnight, like taking care of Gekkomon. And I think that's the key here. Tomoro is trying so hard to act like the responsible one, while Gekkomon is showing the part of him that still wants to be spoiled. You see what I'm saying? Tomoro gets irritated because Gekkomon keeps on causing trouble. Gekkomon gets frustrated because he can't rely on Tomoro the way he wants to. Both of them are hurting, both of them feel misunderstood, and that's why they keep on clashing. Then we get an emergency call from the ministry, and Glowing Dawn heads out to deal with Raremon. First of all, seeing Rena, Makoto, and Kyo's evolution sequence back to back, that was fire, not gonna lie. Kyo's evolution sequence especially, first time seeing it of course, and yeah, so clean. But I'ma be real, I was a little sad that the classic Digimon evolution SFX, the Braveheart riff that they had going on in episode 10 wasn't there this time. Like, I don't get it. Why they remove it? That was so iconic too. I want it on every episode from now on, Toei. I don't give a damn. And another thing, on the evolution sequence, why is Murasamemon's be yellow too? Though it contradicts with Makoto, but the first color, one on the barcode one, was pure white light. Maybe he wasn't at full power or something? Right? And also I realized from the marking on his chest that he symbolizes water and thunder too. We see his attack in previous episode where his sword turns yellow. Maybe that's where the yellow comes from. I don't know, man. It's cool, don't get me wrong, but it kind of off to me because Makoto already got the yellow and blue seems to fit him, or maybe bluish green, I don't know, right? But there's one more point about this white and yellow which might make more sense that we'll touch on again later in the video. Anyway, because Gekkomon throws stones into the sea, Tomoro thinks the reason that Raremon appearing had something to do with Gekkomon, and Tomoro just snaps like, okay, what did you do this time? Did you mess things up again, buddy boy? And Gekkomon gets mad again. And look, I get it. If someone keeps on causing problems over and over in the same day, yeah, eventually you're going to lose your patience. And Gekkomon, being butthurt about it, rushes into the battle recklessly, ends up getting in the way of Murasamemon and Wolvermon, and everything goes completely off the rails. And even Murasamemon tells him, don't get in the way, boy. I laugh my ass off over here, dude. Like, wow, if he's saying it, I don't know about Wolvermon, but if he's saying it, the GOAT, you know it's bad. And then it hit me. Tomoro is the lowest ranked member of Glowing Dawn, right? His Digimon still hasn't evolved yet. He probably feels like he's not contributing at all. And that frustration, I think it's coming out through Gekkomon's attitude of I'm not useless, I'm not in the way kind of feeling. And things escalate fast. Tomoro tries to stop him. Gekkomon lashes out and actually slaps Tomoro with his tail. In accident, of course, not intentional. Then goes on to say how he just wanted to play with him and how Tomoro kept on talking about his brother. And then Tomoro says the words you can't take back. You don't understand how I feel after my brother that was frozen basically by a Digimon. And ever since you were born, everything's been miserable. I wish you'd never been born. Yeah, that's crossing it, dude. I can't blame any of them though. If it really felt like they both needed this growth phase, they're still a child and Gekkomon's literally a child level. And those black emotions trigger Gekkomon's berserk state again. And the moment where Gekkomon almost bites Tomoro, that genuinely sent chills down my spine, dude. In a sad way, of course, right? That was just the show reminding us that Digimon are powerful and dangerous at the same time. But also, see how he stopped in the middle there? Right in front of Tomoro's face? Cinema. I personally think that Gekkomon knew deep down that Tomoro didn't mean all that. But he just hates the facts that Tomoro be so mean about it. You know, like how sibling does. You can see through the tears and everything. After powering up, Gekkomon gets eaten up by Raremon. And I'ma be honest, seeing Tomoro immediately ask Kyo for help, that mattered a lot to me. And I am so glad they showed this part right here. It shows me that no matter how angry he gets, he doesn't actually hate Gekkomon. Like deep down, right? Just like Gekkomon. Then things kinda go wild. Kaito of the fire elements from Gogyosei shows up with Flaremon and deletes Raremon in a single hit. Finally, the Gogyosei are here. And Kaito tells Kyo, "Come at me like you're trying to kill me, just like back then." So yeah, these two definitely have history, and that might be where the scars come from. We also learned something huge today, that Sawashiro Kyo used to be one of the Gogyosei. I think a lot of us called this one out, right? Okay, first I thought, okay, does he got replaced by the girl because of the water elements? But no. And here's what I think about it. I think since Murasamemon uses a sword, that he was the metal element. Remember how he doesn't recognize Gekkomon or know the owner? That might be because he was already out of being part of Gogyosei. And Gekkomon's owner, the metal elements, must be the newly added Gogyosei members. Cause Kaito here seems to recognize Kyo, right? So I assume Kyo probably knew at least the other member or info about them. Oh, this one have this Digimon and this one have that Digimon, you know what I mean? So when he see Gekkomon, he was like, oh, he's part of the, you know. But no, he doesn't know anything about Gekkomon. Yeah, so that might be the case, that Kyo is the former metal or gold elements from Gogyosei, and maybe that's how he's portrayed with this white and then gold, you know, in the evolution sequence, right? And also maybe the reason he left because he didn't want to delete Digimon anymore, and that would also explain why Glowing Dawn has a strict no deletion rule. And what really got me though was Kyo bowing his head to Kaito to protect his family. That was maturity. That was leadership right there. Instead of fighting just to prove strength, he chose safety over pride. And I'ma be honest, at first, I thought Kyo was kind of suspicious, right? We all do. Even after the Nirinso shelter case, we still don't know anything about this dude. But now, yeah, he absolutely deserves to be the leader of the Glowing Dawn. As for Kaito, the fire elements of the Gogyosei, I love his character so much. He's so savagey, but you don't really feel this malicious intent to him. Well, aside of him deleting Digimon just like that, I'd say he's pretty kind-hearted too. You know how he didn't attack when Kyo bows his head? I think he's like this hot-blooded battle maniac type character, especially when Flaremon is a vaccine type Digimon. Don't know if attributes matter here, but yeah, he reminds me of Daimon Masaru the most, where he just wants a good fight, right? Fighting a strong opponents and stuff like that. And dude, that clash of Murasamemon and Flaremon is so good. Especially that stance they got over here. Murasamemon versus Flaremon, you know, water and ice is just immaculate, dude. And I didn't know that Flaremon is so bulky like that. And so, even after things calmed down, when Kaito was like, alright, I'm not doing this, got the bounty so I'm out, the Berserk Gekkomon attacks Flaremon again. He's Berserk, okay? We can't blame him. He then gets countered. Murasamemon shields him, Kyo protects Tomoro, and Kyo ends up severely burned. And this devastated shot of Tomoro hit me hard, dude. And Gekkomon doesn't evolve. Not yet, but he digivolves back into Gekkomon, the baby form. Oh, so cute. I did not expect that, right? Not evolving is one thing, but digivolve? That's brutal. But honestly, I think this is intentional, right? Facing overwhelming power like Kaito, Flaremon's move, Gurenju Oha, so damn cool, brother. Reminds me of Leomon's with that lioness energy, dude. But even after Murasamemon slashing it, it explodes and burned up everything. It's crazy. So yeah, the episode ends up with another cliffhanger, which I like it so much. Tomura and Gekkomon needs to learn that charging in blindly isn't enough. They need to grow emotionally and mentally before they grow in power, and I like that. Next episode is titled A New Family. First of all, we see a Digimon that's from Digimon Liberator. Not only that, I think its mega form is part of the Tente Hachibusu. Correct me if I'm wrong on this, but man, Gekkomon is so cute, dude. Looks like he's being bullied too by Pristimon and Kageromon. Look at their expression, dude. That would be so funny. It seems like he can't get back to Gekkomon in the first half of the episode, probably because of their clashing and everything. And yeah, I'm really hoping this is where Gekkomon finally evolves, and I think this is more of a perfect timing compared to Pandamon, where Tomura has no real connection to, right? This is going to be them finally considers each other as partners, as brothers, and finally boom, evolution in episode 12. This is perfect. I'm excited. And yeah, that's all for today's episode, guys. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate that. Thanks for watching, and as always, this is Kage signing off. Stay sharp, and I'll catch you on to the next one. Peace.